In this video we are going to learn your chapter number 7, that is Scratch Programming Introduction to Game Creation. My dear students, in my previous video that I have uploaded on the previous week, Wednesday, in that video I have discussed some of the portion of this chapter. Right? We have learned about the introductory part, means what exactly is a scratch programming we have learned over there. Right? We have learned about the sprites, that what are sprites. We learned about costumes, what is the meaning of these costumes. We learned about scripts as well. Okay, working with the scratch we have learned on the previous turn. So if you haven't watched the previous video, then I suggest you to please go back, scroll back and just listen to that video and then come back over here and continue with this one. Okay, otherwise the things will not be clear to you. Now you see we have studied about three new sprites. Fine. First one is when you want to paint your own costume. The second one when you want to import any sprite into your in, into your area, and the third one is when you want to get a surprise sprite. Okay, so the three options you are going to get when you are going to work with the scratch programming. Okay, then afterwards we have learned about scratch interface. Now what exactly is a scratch interface means? When you are going to open the application of that scratch interface, scratch programming language, then at that time what kind of view you are going to see. Right, this is the meaning of scratch interface. Okay, now over there we have learned about different portions, that on the left portion it is divided into your block palette. It is known as block palette. This one is known as your scripting area. Right, this is your stage, and this one is what, this one is the place where you are getting new sprites. Okay, all the new sprites are listed over here in this area. So we are having different portions that we have learned in this interface. And then after that we have also learned about working with sprites. Okay, means to say what exactly is a sprite we have learned previously, but how we are going to work with that sprites we have learned in this portion in the previous video. So from this one we are going to start from this block palette and scripts area. So firstly we will learn about this thing, block palette, and then we will go on and proceed with our script area. So before directly jumping onto this block palette, I want you people to please open your book, open your exact book at page number 69, because in this video things will not be clear. Okay, the image is not that much clear, so I request you to please open your book, then the things will be clear. So if you see over here on the left hand side portion, see, this area is known as your block palette area. Okay, this area is known as what, your block palette area, and these are the blocks, these are the blocks. Right, these are the headings, the topics, the buttons. Whichever button you choose, uske according puri details you will get in this area. Fine, if you choose this control button, then everything regarding the control button will come over here. So over here we were going to study about the block palette. If you have seen this picture in your book, then the picture is very clear and you will able to understand and read out all these things that is written. Okay, now see, the block palette is an area of the graphical user interface, means when you are opening this application, at that time you are going to see the block palette. It is located between the stage. Right, means to say you are having the leftmost portion is of your block palette. The way I have shown you right now. So sprite pane and scripting area. It is here that the categories of blocks are color coded. Now color coded means what? If you turn back to that page number 69, then over there you are able to see that the motion is of blue color, right? And you are having different blocks, and every block is having different color, right? So that is the meaning of your color coded, that every block is having an individual color. Fine, and can be clicked to bring up a new set of blocks that can be dragged into the scripting area to program a sprite by this or this stage. Means to say what, over here you are having a block palette, right? At the top of the block palette you are having different buttons, right? Not buttons, they are having different blocks. So every block is having an individual color, right? Likewise they have shown you the motion is having blue color. So when you click on this motion, then everything regarding to this motion will come over here and listed this in this area. And now whatever whatever instruction you want, you can just drag this from here and you can just drop it into your stage area. Okay, so this is the meaning of this line. By selecting the scripts tab in the upper area of the Scratch program, the block palette will be open. The same thing that I have told you, that at the top you are having some blocks, and when you click on that block, then everything regarding to that block will be shown over here in the bottom portion. Fine. The block palette consists of every block that is built into Scratch. Means at the top you are going to see some of the buttons, na? So over there, these are all the buttons that are developed by the Scratch. Fine. So all the buttons will be shown to you at this portion. Now some of the blocks take on certain values by default in their parameters. Now we are having some of the blocks that are imported by defaults. Right, when you make a new script area na, over there, when you want to make a new script, then at that time some of the blocks were imported by default, but others are variable control depending on the context. Now you see, some of the things are by default and some of the things you have to define by yourself. Fine. So if you want to define anything by yourself, then what you need to do, block palette area, you have to click on the particular block. Right. जब block पर click कर दोगे, so everything regarding to the block will come over here and written. Fine. And whatever portion you want, you can just drag it with the help of your mouse and you can just drop it in this area. राइट, तो आपका क्या हो जाएगा, यहाँ से यहाँ पर सारी चीज़ें कॉपी हो जाएंगी इन द सेम वे. Fine, that is the working of this block palette, and that is why this block palette exists over there. Now let us come to scripts area. So before just jumping onto this script area, let us see where is it. See, this portion is your script area. This portion, if you can see in your book, then it will be more clear. This portion is your script area. Okay, now you can see in the script area we are having different colors. Right, now script means what? It means you are having instructions. Right, now what kind of instructions you want to give to that your sprite, the same things, the same instructions, you are going to copy it over here. Fine. So all these instructions they have given, they have taken as an example, so that is why it is colorful, and that is why it has said that every block is color coded, so that आप color को देखते ही अंदाजा लगा लोगे that okay fine, which instruction is being followed by which instruction. Okay, now let us read out these things. The script area is the area on the right side of the project editor where scripts are assembled. It can be accessed from both the stage and from the sprite, although the stage and each sprite have all separate scripts and script area and scripts. It is a gray print strip rectangle. The script area menu consists of three options. This. Now what is the meaning of all this paragraph is that, see, you are having a script area, and over here in this script area it is a gray color picture. If you want to edit any of your script, then either you can do this thing with the help of this one, this stage portion. Okay, if you are going to make any change in this stage na, the same thing is going to be reflected over there script area. So या तो आप यहाँ से drag and drop कर लो, या फिर यहाँ से आप इसकी instructions को change कर लो. अब यहाँ से इसको change करोगे, the same thing will get reflected back to over here on the stage. ठीक है, और अगर स्टेज से कोई चीज़ करोगे, so the same thing will got reflected back to your scripts area. Okay, so that is the meaning of this script area, and that is how we are going to use it as well. Now, to code in Scratch, simply drag blocks out from the 8 palette and assemble them in the scripts area. If necessary, scroll bars will appear to extend the area downwards or to the right. Now you see what is said in this paragraph is that when you want to code in Scratch programming, then you are having 8 palettes, right? Then from those 8 palettes you have to select the scripts, you have to select the instructions, and you have to drag them into the scripts area. अब scripts area में we are having all the instructions. So अगर instructions आपके पास ज़्यादा हो जाती हैं, then scroll bars we are having. Likewise, see over here, I am scrolling this thing ना, at the rightmost portion you can see the scroll bar appearing, right? You can see this scroll bar, this one. So this is the scroll bar. It means if you are having more instructions, if you are having that आपके पास एक वन टाइम पर आपको स्क्रीन पर अवेलेबल नहीं हो सकती हैं, देन एट दैट टाइम you will be getting scroll bars automatically. Okay, so that is how we are going to work in this scratch. Now let us come to this one. This portion, some rules you have to study by yourself. Okay, you are having some kind of rules when you want to work with this scripts. Now if you face any difficulty, then let me know about these things. Now let us move on to the description of functions. Description of functions. Now see, Scratch 2.0 is also known as a Scratch 2. So this is a new version of this Scratch, that is 2.0. Either you write down 2.0 or you write down 2. It is your choice. It is the second major and latest version of Scratch following Scratch 1.4. So the previous version was 1.4 and now the version is 2.0. Okay, it's it features a redesigned editor and website, and it allows you to edit projects directly from your web browser as well as in an offline editor. Now previously what happens, whenever you want to edit your project, then you need to have an application, right? But now this is Scratch 2.0 is somehow advanced. It allows you to make additions in your web browser only. Right? Web browser means your Internet Explorer, your Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox. Okay, all these are the examples of your web browser. Now you see the next thing, blocks are puzzle piece shape that are used to create code in Scratch. Now we are having different blocks, right? They are used to create code in Scratch. Now you know we are going to write down the instructions. Not exactly write down the instructions, बस आपको drag and drop करना होता है, right? So blocks are the puzzles that you are going to use while when you are going to create some code in Scratch. Okay, now the block connect to each other like a jigsaw puzzle where each data type has its own shape and specifically shaped mm, slot for it to be inserted into this to prevent syntax error. Now we are having these much blocks. Now exactly what blocks are, you understand firstly that we are having a block palette, and at the top of the block palette I told you we are having different buttons, right? So वो buttons क्या होते हैं, वो आपके blocks हो जाते हैं. Okay, now on those buttons what you can do, each button is having its own working, right? Like motion. Now you want to move forward, you want to move backward, right? All these comes under the motion. Fine. Now about events. Events means when this thing should happen, when this thing should happen, right? All these comes under the events. So we are having different blocks, different slot shaped plots. Fine. For every block. So हर एक ब्लॉक आपका डिफरेंट कलर का होता है और हर एक ब्लॉक के आपकी different वर्किंग होती है. Now what exactly we are going to learn over here in this topic is that we are having these 10 named blocks. Now we are going to learn about these 10 blocks and their color coding as well. See, the color coding is very important for the exam kind of purpose as well. So you need to learn all those coding parts. Fine. Now you see types of blocks we have to study over here, but in the next turn we are going to start from this motion firstly. So meanwhile you do one thing, you just read the chapter by yourself. Fine, and in case you feel any difficulty, then you let me know. You can write down in the comment section as well. Okay, so this is for this video. Thank you so much for watching.